What's up, guys? It's Mikael from Massen in Japan. I'm out here in the morning having a little walk of my own. I can say I'm clearing my thoughts. It's a beautiful day today. Weather is, as always, fantastic here. Again, it's over 30 degrees. I'm walking to the south here, to the south of Naha. I'm trying to see if I can find a second-hand shop called Manga Souko. I've actually been to one up north, but it is the first time I'm going to the south one. I'll hurry over here, it's a red light. It's about 1.5 hour walk. It should definitely be doable. So let's see what we can find during the way down here. We're walking on route 330, which is one of the main routes here in Naha. So let's see what we can see. Right here, actually, we have a yakiniku restaurant. I've been here a few times. It's quite nice, really. And for those of you who don't know what yakiniku is it's a barbecue. It's an indoor barbecue with very thin sliced meat. It's an experience, and it's very good. Definitely something everyone should try when they visit Japan. And as you can see here, when we are walking, it is morning. It is still rush hour. There's a lot of traffic here. And for the moment, we are following the monorail line, and we'll do that for the next couple of kilometers. We're basically just following this road all the way to the south. And what you're seeing here is one of the main monorail station, one of the bigger ones here in Naha. And next to it is a duty-free shop called DFS. Also a very popular tourist attraction. And right here you can see the station, and this station is actually a little bit different than the other station here in Naha. This one have a small family mart inside of it. And I know if you live in Tokyo or another major city around the world, having a convenience store inside a monorail station or a metro station, that's very normal, but not here in Naha, and definitely not where I'm from in Denmark. We don't have that same transportation system. I know, yeah, in Copenhagen we have a metro system, but not many of them have a convenience store. So this is for me a little bit different, and also for people who are living here now. What I know about is the only one who have a convenience store built in. As you can see, the traffic is flowing nice and smooth. See, there's plenty of people here going to work or airport. And here I want to show you something. This is one of the gas stations in Japan that is serviced, and it's so amazing that you still can do that. And I'm a little bit sad that we don't do that in Europe anymore. But what they do here is actually welcoming every new customer to the gas station to come in and put on gas. And they are doing everything for you. They're asking you what kind of gas you want in, how much you want in, you want to pay with credit card, you want to pay with cash, and they do it all for you. They even clean your windscreen wipers for you. And I believe they can also change your oil or refill your oil if that is necessary. And it's something that I think we lost in Europe, this generation of just service. I remember Jeremy Clarkson from Top Gear one time said that the people working here, they're more cheerful than an X Factor winner, and it's true. They're genuinely happy for you. They're genuinely happy to work there, and they will do everything to make you satisfied. And I really love that idea that it's just a gas station. But I also know in Japan that you're shifting a little bit away from that, and you're going more to the Western style, and I beg you don't do that, because this is what makes Japan so good and so special, is that you help other people. You service them. You make them feel important. So please continue with that. It's very important that you do not fall into the Western trap, that I call it. That you think you don't need that, because we do. This is what makes human beings so great, and this is what making Japan so fantastic. So please continue doing that. And you can see here, basically every house, every building is made out of concrete, and that is in Japan, that is the preferred way of building it, and you either love it or you hate it. It can look really good, but the problem with concrete, as the way I see it, is that if you don't maintain it, it easily gets old. So it constantly care or paint, compared to, let's say, bricks that we primarily use in, at least in the Northern Europe. It doesn't need the same maintenance or care. And as you can see here, many of the building hasn't been painted for years or maybe decades, and they do tend to look a little bit off. But if they are maintained, if they are painted from time to time, they can look really stunning. You know you're inside the city when there's three levels of roads and monorail. Not something I'm used to seeing, at least. And here we have the next station on the line. It's called Asato Station. And it's also the station at Shibuya, which is a very famous area for pottery, clay, these kind of things. I will show you the street later when we get to that. Here we have a supermarket. Over there we have a karaoke bar. Karaoke is a very famous thing in Japan. You can find these, yeah, everywhere I would say. And on there you have a picture of the Godfather. I don't know if it's a bar really. Yeah, it is a bar. This street we're walking on here, it's a very busy street. You have a lot of restaurants, izakayas, bars, karaoke. It's a very, I don't know if it's a famous street, but it's definitely a busy street. There's a lot of activity going on here, and it's also more or less parallel to Kokusai Street, which is just a little bit that way. I really want to go Family Mart, but it's on the other side of the road and it's simply too far away. So what do? Oh wait, there's one here, literally across from each other. That's fantastic. We're about half an hour into my morning walk here, and this area right now is Shibuya, and you can actually see the housing is getting a little bit more old, and that's because this area here is the older part of Naha. It's clear to see did see that many of the buildings here is also more than 50-60 years old, probably even older. Some of them are even before World War II. I have learned that right here, what we're seeing here, they're making a new McDonald's. And right over there is the entrance to the Pottery Street, which is this famous area, yeah, of course, for pottery, clay. There's a lot of noise here, as you can hear, there's still a lot of traffic. It's down here, where everything is handmade, and it's also a very popular tourist attraction. Let me know in the comments below if you want me to make a video specifically about that street there. And right here we actually have a McDonald's, and this is the one that is moving just up the street over there, just literally 50 meters on the other side of the road. This one is very old, so it's closing and they're moving. And one of the things that's also very different in Japan compared to Europe and compared to Denmark at least, is all your electric wires, they're hanging in poles like this all across the city's countryside. Doesn't matter, everywhere. And it's not only electricity, it's all the phone line and cable network. I can understand for some reason why you still do that. It's more easy to repair and to fix in case of earthquakes, but it does paint the picture a little bit. I don't know if it's a negative side, but that depends on how you look at it, but I'm not used to seeing it at all. Every cable is in the ground in Denmark. But yes, as I said, it does makes it a lot more easy to repair it. You don't have to dig up the ground. But then again, we don't have earthquake in Denmark, so yeah. Maybe that's the main reason. Famous vending machines, they are everywhere. This is also one of the things that I really like about this place. You don't have to worry about they're getting destroyed or broken by random people, because that does happen in Europe, it does happen in Denmark, which is why we do not have them. But it doesn't happen in Japan. It's simply different people, to be honest. I don't want to go too much into that, but Europe, we do have a different kind of people that makes these kind of things very difficult to have. So it's so great to see that you have them everywhere in Japan and none of them is destroyed. Keep that going, guys. Over the fire station. Sun will love that. Here you have a park. We actually have a train over here. Let's see what that is. I've never been here. We have an old style steam train. I remember when I was a kid, I loved trains. Too bad you can't get in. Definitely something different compared to what you use today with the Shinkansen. Here in Naha, but also Tokyo for that matter, or any other bigger Japanese cities, even if you live in the city or in a metropolitan area, you have so many of these parks, recreation parks you can just go to. Many of them actually have playgrounds for kids. Of course not this one, I wanted to show that, but it's so nice that you can blend nature with a metropolitan area, so it doesn't feel that crowded. And I know you would say other European city or American city have the same. While that may be true, I guarantee you it's not the same, especially not compared to Europe. You don't see You almost don't see any garbage here. You don't see any joints, cigarettes, even, do I dare to say it, needles. It's simply not here. I'm not saying you don't have it here, because you most likely have, but you bring everything with you home. This is also why you can't see a garbage can here anywhere. Which sounds a little bit funny, that you have no trash, but you have no garbage. It's amazing to see how you can raise a disciplined people in a that positive manner to bring the garbage with you home. Japanese people are simply, in my mind, one of the best people you can find on this planet. It's amazing. Yeah, of course they have a dark side. We can talk about that in another video. But so does everyone else. You can find less good areas in Japan as well, but the difference is those less good areas you will find everywhere in Europe. So every time people talking negative about Japan, they're mostly just doing for clickbait or rate bait, but they're simply forgetting that all the negative things in Japan they see everywhere in Europe. And right here we have the main police station. Protected by Caesar. See here there's some police vehicles. Right here we have what I believe is an elementary school, but I could be mistaken for a high school. This is a typical design of a school in Japan. Again, these big concrete buildings. And then they have a huge field outside where they probably, in this case they play soccer. But I would assume they also play baseball because that's very famous here. Maybe they have a different field for baseball. Baseball in Japan is very huge. It's the same level as football or soccer is in Europe. Your national sport, yeah, of course it is. You have some famous players around the world, most likely, I forgot his name, but I know he plays for Tottenham as number 17. You can see him everywhere as a sponsor for basically more or less every product. So I see him from day to day really. It's a popular sport, but it's not in Europe. I actually never seen a baseball match in my life. But I have been to a stadium. I actually have been to the Dodgers Stadium in Los Angeles, but there was no match going on at that time. It's almost 20 years ago, but the stadium is the same. It's quite an experience to see that stadium, and then also now today know how popular Dodgers are for you here in Japan. And right here there's an izakaya restaurant that I heard so much about, so many positive things. I haven't tried it myself yet. An izakaya, if I need to compare it to things in Europe, it would be like a bar and tapas combined. And it's not because you eat standard tapas at izakaya, you can eat many kind of things. There's many kind of izakayas out there, but it's small shareable dishes that you can eat. You can come by yourself, but most of the people they come by with co-workers after work, where they enjoy drinking and eating together. It's a very popular thing in Japan that you go and meet after work, which is also one of the things that is very different, at least compared to Denmark. When we get off work in Denmark, we go home to our family. We don't go out drinking or eating with co-workers. Of course, we can do it, but that's only in a rare occasions. We do prioritize families. And I'm not saying Japanese don't do that, because I also know why the Japanese people do this afterwards. You socialize, and I do believe you do it because you think you need to do it. And here it's, at least for me, I can only speak for myself, is one of the things that I don't like about Japan. You work so many hours during the day, from 9 to 6, 7, 8, maybe even 9 at night. So everything from, if you're lucky, 9 hours to 12 hours. And then after that, you don't even go home. You go to, in this case, izakaya, because you believe that this is what you need to do, because your boss is saying, hey, let's go out and have drinks after work today. So you think you are like coerced into doing it. And I understand the culture is different, and I get that, and I really respect your work culture here. You put so much effort into it, but I just can't do that. I'm not saying I'm lazy. I'm definitely not saying that I used to work my ass off in Denmark. I used to more or less prioritize work over family, but I will not do that anymore. I will always have family first, because now we have kids, and I do believe that's more important than work. And I do hope that at some point in Japan that you do, I don't know if I dare to say realize it, because it feels like you don't realize it, but I hope we have some kind of shift in your work-life balance here. Because I don't believe it's healthy that you work so many hours and you're not seeing your kids as we do in Denmark. Families are important. I would say families are the main reason we exist. We need to live. And the kids need the parents, both mom and dad. But I'm not here to change your mind, because I can't do that, and I really can't change the way you work. But as I said, I respect your energy, I respect the way you work. If other countries would just put the same effort into it like you do, we would be a whole different place. But what I am saying is, I'm hoping that in the future we will see some kind of shift, that families are also important, the kids are also important. I'm not saying you need to do the exact same as Denmark and Europe is doing. There needs to be some kind of balance. Here we have one of those intersections, but a little bit bigger than what I'm normally used to see. We have 2 levels of traffic, but on top of that we also have a pedestrian bridge, so you don't have to wait for green light. Not something I'm used to in Denmark, but it gives a good view. Right, we're about 1 hour into my morning jogging here. I have been talking a lot, so we are not that far as I maybe expected we would be, but it doesn't matter. Temperature is still good, it's not too warm, the humidity is also still much higher than I'm used to, but it's getting better. Simply, the season. We're having, it's autumn, it's in October, so autumn is definitely here. You can feel that. We have a little bit more cold wind, and when I say cold, it's not near as cold as what I'm used to in Denmark. But we do have a light breeze. Maybe you can also see on my face that it is a little bit warm. I do sweat, but not as much as I used to do. Definitely not. It's getting a lot better. So that's nice. trying to find something to drink, vending machine with a garbage, because I don't want to carry around an empty PET bottle. Sometimes we're lucky. Actually over there, see there's a vending machine with a garbage. I'd like to have that on my side of the road. I can't get to that. Look at that. Not sure what it is. It looks nice. Sure, so that should make it a lot better, but until that arrives, bear with me. Try my best here. Talk loud and clear without disturbing the peace around me. I think this is a transformer station for those buildings around me. I bought myself something to drink. Sports water. I never tried this one before. And the only problem is, after you buy it, you can see what's in it. And it's not because I'm not picky, but more and more zesty drinks, sports drink, even Fanta and Sprite, they put in what you can see here, something called a K. And K in Japan is what we know as aspartame. Aspartame is fake sugar, and there's many opinions about it. My opinion is just, why would I need to drink a chemical compound sugar? I can just drink normal sugar. I get that you think, what about diabetes, what about health issue? Yeah, I understand. Then it should be an option if you want to go down that route. At least put it in front of the PET bottle, because I don't know if it have aspartame or other fake sugars in it until I buy it. In a supermarket, I can see it myself. I can turn it around before I buy it, but I can't do that from a vending machine. And I don't know every drink yet, but I will drink it. Not to worry. I don't throw it away. No, I'm not that picky. Definitely not. I just prefer not to have fake sugar. And you can see here, they have been doing construction on this bridge for years now. I can't even remember when they started, and I'm not entirely sure what they are doing, if they are expanding the bridge, are they replacing the bridge. If you know, please leave a comment below, because I still don't know exactly what they're doing, but I do know it's been on the way for years now. It's definitely a nice view. There's a lot of construction in and around Naha, and half of it, as I said before, I don't even know what they're doing. It could be because simply I cannot read the signs, but there's a lot of construction going on everywhere in Naha. And it's not only residential buildings, because that is also going on quite much, but you see a lot of road construction, bridge construction, highway construction. So it could be because Naha is simply expanding. As you can see here, we are now joined by the monorail again, and this will actually follow us the rest of the way to the Manga Souko shop where we're going. The monorail is actually coming down. I think they're coming with every 5 minutes interval in each direction. There should be a restaurant coming up here. pancake restaurant, which I never tried it again myself, but it's on the list, and you can see it right here. It's called Grill and Pancake Rice, and it should be fantastic pancakes. They open 9 in the morning and close 3 in the afternoon, so it's like a brunch, lunch concept breakfast. I will definitely try to go there. It looks really interesting. There's also an izakaya Jijin. I just love pancakes. And over here you can actually see top of the baseball stadium in Naha. As I said earlier, baseball is extremely vital of Japanese people. Now I'm actually carrying around this pet bottle. I couldn't find a vending machine with a garbage can when I bought it, and I still haven't located a garbage bin. And maybe I'm actually lucky here in 7-Eleven. Look at that. That's not always the case in a convenience store. You cannot expect to find garbage bin everywhere. Guess I was lucky today. But if I had to choose between the way you do it in Japan compared to what we did in Denmark, I would always choose the Japanese way and carrying around my garbage till I come home. Because to see garbage laying around like we do in Denmark, and I mean that, it's definitely not something you want to see. Mess everywhere. Because people simply don't know how to clean up after themselves. They haven't learned it. Or they simply don't care. Something that is rare in Okinawa and in Naha, I don't know about the rest of Japan, but something that is very rare is a bicycle path. But there's actually one right here, the blue line here. I think it's the only one I've seen in Naha, at least the only one I can remember I've seen. You can see there's a symbol there for a bicycle. You don't see that much. Most of the bicycles here, either they bicycle on the pedestrian area or the road. And it is a little bit dangerous, to be honest. It's coming here again. Bicycle to the right, pedestrian to the left. But then again, you don't see that many bicycles in Okinawa. It's very rare sight compared to Denmark, really. Denmark, it's literally everywhere. And if you've been to Copenhagen, you also know how difficult it is to drive a car there, because there's bicycles everywhere. And many of them, they do not follow the rules. We actually have a bicycle coming now. It's at the rear side, but it's nice to see. Maybe we have a steakhouse. It looks really good. I don't know if you're wondering why I'm having these walks. Like I could just take the car, and yes, you're right, I could just take the car and go where I need to go. And I ought to do that, but walking, and I'm not only thinking about the exercise part, because that's not that important to me right now, but what's important is when you're walking, you get a lot of fresh air, but you also see things that you wouldn't see in a car. You get a whole different atmosphere. And then fresh air is simply just nice. So I actually do prefer this morning walk before it gets too warm. And right now we are 1.5 hours into this morning walk, and we're getting closer to where we need to be. Just a little bit further ahead, and up there is another monorail station or local station, and you can see there's a monorail waiting to depart. And there we go. Starbucks over there. We missed the donut. It's a Beyond Mall. Right here we have Moss and Cafe. And Moss, or Moss Burger, which is also the name, is a fast food chain just like McDonald's, Burger King, but in a more Japanese style, Japanese ingredients. And it's okay. And right here actually we have something called Hard Off. And Hard Off, it's also part of the Book Off family, but Hard Off is more focused on electronic music instrument, video games, PC equipment, consoles, and funny enough, Hard Off was actually the place where I found a somewhat mint condition of a Nintendo 64. It's not this Hard Off, it was the other one in Genoa. But that Nintendo, for me, that's a very special one. But that one had the expandable memory pack that actually doubled the Nintendo memory capacity, which is today is actually very rare to find one, but it was already included in that console. On top of that, it also had 007 GoldenEye, and that's a very important game to me. I had it when I was at that time. When was the Nintendo 64 released? Mid 90s, end 90s, somewhere around there. But I had one, and I played that game with my father a lot. So for me, that game has some kind of meaning to it. So I'm really lucky that I could find that. So I'm very thankful that I found it here. And the console is actually also black, the exact same color as what I have, and the controller is gray, 100% the same thing. And the best part is, it's actually working. The video graphic is a lot worse compared to what I remember, I grant you that. But it's so fun to see that something that is roughly, what is it? Wow, it's almost 30 years old. Well, time flies. But 30 years old electronic, it still works. It still works. It's only because it's made in Japan. I'm sure of that. Right over here, we actually have the family member to Hard Off, to Book Off. And what they have here compared to Hard Off is they are focused on clothes, DVDs, CDs, music, laserdisc, actually mini disc, you can find that. Simple toys. And here we have a liquor shop where you can find a little bit more untraditional alcohol. More European style, but also the Japanese sake. I just want to show you something. You can see this bus stop here. people are actually, they're of course waiting for the bus and it's coming here, but they're waiting in line. In line. That's not something you will ever see in rest of the world really, but in Europe, no. That they're waiting in line for the bus, and you will also see it in the airport after you land here. Either in Tokyo, we got also to be here in Naha airport. People are waiting in line. That's just how it is. They don't skip in front of each other. No. Discipline and respect for other people. That's something we don't have in Europe. I actually think we're getting close to where we need to be. Yep, it's that one over there. It's neat to find a pedestrian zebra stripe.
Okay, I couldn't find what I was looking for today, but it doesn't really matter. Just here for a morning walk, but I am looking for a PSP, as I said, in somewhat mint condition, and I haven't been able to find it yet. Well, one time I did, but the price was, in my mind, too much to pay. So I'm still looking for it. And as always, I'm always looking for some second-hand deal, classic movies that I would like for my collection. So maybe next time we're more lucky. For today, this is it really. My morning walk is completed. It's been a nice stroll. So for now, again, thank you for watching my videos. I really appreciate it. And if you like it, please like my videos and please subscribe to my channel so you don't miss my next upload. Thank you for today. Bye guys.